What's good, y'all? We back with another video, man, and today I have my AEW Dynasty 2025 official predictions right now. And I'm not gonna waste any time, man. How y'all been doing? I am back. Bryant is back. I'm back in action. I'm back with the videos, and I'm back with the predictions. AEW Dynasty is happening April 6th. 2025. And it's going to be, I hope it's going to be a damn good show. It should be a damn good show, man. The match card is pretty great. It has a lot of great matches. A lot of sick matches. A lot of matches that I am very, very hyped for. So let's get right into it, man. So the first match that's going to start this video off, ladies and gentlemen, and the viewers watching at home on YouTube, is the RH World Championship versus mask match. The Ocho, Chris Jericho taking on Bandito. Now, this feud has been going on for a little bit. I have not given a single fuck what Chris Jericho has been doing lately. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I don't even know why Chris Jericho is the RH World Champion. I really don't fucking get it. I just don't get it, bro. Tony Khan, why is Jericho your not world heavyweight champion? If Jericho was the world heavyweight champion in 2025, then that's some serious issues. But luckily, he's just the ROH world champion, and ROH is pretty much a dead company at this point. But Chris Jericho versus Bandito. I hope that Chris Jericho loses this match. I think Bandito should just be the RH World Champion. Why is Jericho the champion in the first place? He shouldn't have never won that title at all. Honestly. Even the first time when he won the title, he shouldn't have held the RH World Championship. It's like, what the fuck is the point of Chris Jericho holding that title? It's like, if you're going to have ROH hold all of these young stars, you know what I'm saying? Why not give the title to an established young talent or an already made talent? You know what I'm saying? That's not old as fuck like Chris Jericho. Because Chris Jericho is up there in age, man. And you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I didn't mean to make this video a Chris Jericho hate video. It's not by all means my intentions. But I'm just speaking facts here. But I want Bandito to win this match because, yeah, I've explained to you. And I think Bandito is cool as fuck, bro. Honestly, Bandito should really be featured on AEW television a lot more. Fuck this RH World Championship shit. I don't care about ROH. I simply just don't give a single fuck. This is not fucking 2017, bro. This is not 2018. You know what I'm saying? This is not fucking 2016. This isn't even prime ROH. You know, this is ROH after it has been brought out and sold and just uninteresting. So it's like, I don't really care about the ROH title. I simply don't give a single rat's ass. But like I said, if I were to pick a winner for this match, Chris Jericho versus Bandito, I want Bandito to win, and I want Chris Jericho to take a break from AEW television. I'm just going to be honest, because it's like, what is the fucking point of Jericho being the ROH champion? I've never understood that. When they put a title on him the first time, I like, okay, Jericho still is interesting, and, you know, yeah. I'm not too upset with Jericho being ROH champion. But mind you, this was like a year and a half ago that Jericho was the ROH champion. And a year and a half ago, Jericho was still entertaining, I would say. He was still, I was still a fan of Jericho. It's not like I'm not a fan of Jericho now. But I was a lot more interested in what Jericho was doing on television. Now, it's like, bro, we've seen Jericho so much. it's like ever since he's been in AEW, has this man even took a break? In WWE, this man Jericho took breaks for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? He would go on 6 month sabbaticals, 6 month vacations, come back, a whole new gimmick, repackaged, revamped Chris Jericho. This man came back with the list. All this other shit that he's done. All these rehashes. But it just seems like that, I don't know, man. So far, in 2024 and 2025, it's like Jericho is becoming more and more uninteresting. And I'm sorry, it really pains me to say that, because I really am a Jericho fan. I enjoy what Jericho has done for the business, and I love what Jericho, what he, you know what I'm saying, what he brings to the table. But you can clearly see in the ring and when he performs his maneuvers, he's getting slower and slower and slower. I mean, hell, damn near Dustin Rhodes is moving better than Jericho. And I'm just saying it, bro. I'm not even hating on Jericho. But Dustin Rhodes, by the way, I believe is one half of the tag team champions, or 1/3 of the RH Trios champions. Shout out Dustin Rhodes. But hell, I'd rather see Dustin Rhodes on television nowadays every fucking week than Chris Jericho, and I'm just going to be honest with you. But I'm moving on from this subject, and I'm moving on to the second match, which is AEW World Trios Championships. This is a trios match, of course, which is the Death Riders, consisting of Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, taking on Rated FTR, Cope, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. Now, there are multiple ways that this match can go. Now, Death Riders are your defending champions, and honestly, the Death Riders Trios title run has been an absolute disappointment. It has been disappointing because I honestly don't remember a single Death Riders Trios title match that was like important. It's like the Death Riders are just buried under. I'm not gonna use that word buried. I'm not gonna use that term buried. But it's like the Death Riders are just, they're in the shadow of this Jon Moxley storyline and Jon Moxley and all this shit. And it's just like, I don't really give a single fuck about the Royal Trios Championships right now. I'm not saying I don't care about them at all. But right now, the Death Riders holding the Trios titles, I don't care, because it's not like they're defending them often. They don't really defend the belts that often. So it's like I honestly forget that the Trios titles are a thing in AEW sometimes, because with shit like this, the Death Riders they barely defend their titles. So, and then on the other side, you got Rated FTR. Dax Harwood had some beef with Cope, you know what I'm saying? He shoved Cope. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, at what was the pay-per-view? What was the last pay-per-view of AEW? At Revolution. Dax shoved Cope. He walked out on Cope and Cash Wheeler. And a lot of people have been saying that there's a chance that FTR could turn on Cope, and then that will eventually lead to a Cope and Christian reunion, and then Cope and Christian taking on FTR, which, you know, is not a bad idea. It really isn't a bad idea, but it's like Rated FTR literally just formed. Like, they just formed not even 2 months ago. Rated FTR, like, I think they need a little bit of time to, like, if they plan on making Rated FTR more of a long-term thing or a long-term group, which I don't think they're going to be a group for that long. But if they really want to build some type of storyline between Rated FTR and Cope and build some type of drama in that, I would have Rated FTR beat the Death Riders, right? I would have them beat the Death Riders. You know what I'm saying? New Trios champions. I would have Rated FTR hold the titles for like a month or so, and then boom, have them lose the belts and FTR turn on Cope. Because Dax said on Dynamite that FTR's main mission, main focus has always been the AEW World Tag Team titles. Not the Trios titles, but the AEW World Tag Team titles. And I don't know if FTR, you know what I'm saying, if they could hold up being, I'm not going to say they are sidekicks to Cope, but pretty much they are sidekicks to Cope, honestly. FTR right now is pretty much playing that sidekick role behind Cope. I'm not trying to knock FTR, but it's literally what I'm seeing on television right now. So maybe FTR gets fed up and be like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't care anymore. I'm done with Cope, and I'm taking him out. And then that could possibly lead to a Cope and Christian reunion. And honestly, I really don't know how we get there. I just don't know how we get there, because Christian literally almost, he basically kind of costed Cope at AEW Revolution. So like, and then the last time we've seen Cope and Christian, they were feuding. So it's like, how do we get to that point? How do we get from Cope and Christian feuding with one another to them possibly in the future having a reunion facing off against FTR? How do we get to that point? And I don't have the answers right now. I really don't have the answers for that, but maybe we will in the future. You know, if it happens, maybe Tony Khan has something up his sleeve. But moving on, whoa. Before I move on, I am predicting that Rated FTR are your new trios champions. I think it's time to have some new trios champions, because like I said, the Death Riders aren't really defending their belts often. You know, they're usually mostly in like singles matches and shit like that. So I would have Rated FTR Windows AEW World titles, have them go on a month run or so, and yeah, boom. Moving on to the AEW Women's World Championship, which is Timeless Toni Storm taking on Megan Bayne. Now, I predicted this match. I predicted that this match was going to take place at the next pay-per-view. In my matches to make after AEW Revolution, I had Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne for the AEW World Championship. And there you have it. Now, Megan Bayne is fairly green, fairly new to AEW. So there's honestly no chance in hell. No chance! There's no chance in hell that Megan Bayne is going to beat Timeless Toni Storm. And if Megan Bayne beats Timeless Toni Storm, I'm turning off the television. Because there is just no way in hell. She's still green as hell. Megan Bayne is still green. I can clearly see that she has a little bit more things to learn. But I'm not saying in the future she won't become a future world AEW Women's Champion, because I think that she will be a great fit for the AEW Women's World Championship, but not right now. I don't think it's her time yet. I would have Timeless Toni Storm retain her title, because honestly, Timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May were flipping the titles for a little bit. You know, so I think it's time to have the Women's World Champion remain constant for a little bit and have Timeless Toni Storm beat Megan Bayne. And also, Megan Bayne had a big win, a huge pinfall over the champion Toni Storm before their match at AEW Dynasty. So this is why I don't think that Megan Bayne is going to win, because she's already got a pinfall over Toni Storm. And you know that when somebody gets a pinfall over their opponent at the next pay-per-view, the person that took the pinfall loss usually gets the win at the pay-per-view. That's just how wrestling psychology works. So my official predictions: Timeless Toni Storm retains her AEW Women's World Championship. Now, for what I think is going to be the match of the night. AEW International Championship 3-way match. Kenny Omega defending his title against Speedball Mike Bailey and Ricochet. Now, I'm loving this matchup. I love this match. At first, I did predict in my matches to make after AEW Revolution, I did predict that Kenny Omega, his first opponent for the International Championship, would be Ricochet. I did say Ricochet versus Kenny Omega at AEW Dynasty could be the next move. You know, especially after them announcing that tournament for the international title. I thought to myself, I think Ricochet versus Kenny Omega would be a damn good match for the international title. But they went a little bit different route and they added Speedball Mike Bailey. This match is now a triple threat match. I'm not complaining at all. I'm a big fan of Speedball Mike Bailey. Hasn't even been on the AEW roster for a month, or at least on television for a month, you know. So, but I really do think that what they have done with Speedball Mike Bailey, they're doing great so far. They're building Speedball Mike Bailey up to be honestly, I could see him potentially being a future top star in AEW, but that completely depends on how they build him up. But so far, the way they're building him up now, he's going to be a very, very important piece in AEW in the future, at least. Because I really do like what they did with Speedball, him coming out, addressing Kenny Omega, and pretty much saying that he's not afraid to kick Kenny Omega's head off. Even though Mike Bailey is a face, he's still with that shit. So, and then you got Ricochet. You know, Ricochet, honestly, character-wise, has been on a roll. I've said this in the past. Ricochet has had tremendous character development since leaving WWE. And I'm very, very happy and proud for Ricochet because he's been getting so much shit over the last years. You know, people will gratify him and say that he's one of the best in the ring. But we can't ignore the fact that Ricochet is not the best on the mic. He was never the best on the mic. He absolutely sucked ass on the mic. But since he's been in AEW, you know, after that first month, he has been on a fucking roll, bro. Like, this is a whole nother Ricochet, man. This is a whole nother character right here, bro. And I'm loving it. Geek heel Ricochet is absolute. He's the best, bro. I love it. I honestly can see him becoming a international champion in the future. Not now, though. And not Speedball Mike Bailey, because it's too soon for Speedball Mike Bailey. He's just, you know what I'm saying? He just entered AEW. So I don't think he's going to become AEW International Champion right now, especially beating a guy like Kenny Omega. I think Kenny Omega retains his title. I think Kenny Omega goes on a long run with the International Championship belt. And I've been hearing a lot of rumors saying that they are potentially combining the International Championship and the AEW Continental Championship in the future. Which, I don't mind it. And you could just make an AEW Intercontinental Championship once you combine those titles, because there are a lot of titles in AEW. So you could just have an international or an Intercontinental Championship once you combine those two belts. But yeah, I think that Kenny Omega retains, and yeah, that could possibly lead to Kenny Omega versus Okada, possibly at All In for both the International and Continental Crown Championship. I honestly think that might be the case, because that would be fucking amazing. Kenny Omega versus Okada in AEW. We have never seen that. We've only seen that in Japan. We have never seen that on American soil. At least I don't think. But I really am sure that we have never seen Kenny Omega versus Okada on American soil, one-on-one action. We have never seen that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure we have never seen that. Moving on the main event, AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland. Now, I think it's time for Jon Moxley to drop the title. They have carried on this Death Rider storyline. I can't talk. But they have carried on this Death Rider storyline for far too long. Far too long, man. And it's really, honestly, not really heading anywhere. I think it's time to have Jon Moxley drop the AEW World title. He's had it for a while now. We haven't even seen the title on television. Are they making a new belt or something? I don't know. But I just think I'm just done with Jon Moxley as the AEW World Champion. And it really sucks that I have to sit here and say shit like that, because I am really I'm a real fan of Jon Moxley, you know? Jon Moxley, he is like the ace of AEW, you know? He is the guy. He is the worker. He is the company guy for AEW. When you need Jon Moxley, he is there. He is there. There was so many moments where it was times where CM Punk got hurt. Jon Moxley he stepped up and he became world champion. And there has been multiple times after that where AEW has been backed into a corner and Jon Moxley was there to save him. But this time around, I just don't really. Honestly, this might be Jon Moxley's one of his worst title reigns. This might be one of Jon Moxley's worst AEW title reigns, because it's just, I don't really see any substance in this Death Rider storyline, man. I can't really find a reason to care anymore about this storyline. I think they need to move on to something. They need to move on. Just move on from this Death Rider shit, please. I honestly would like for Swerve Strickland to rewrite history, because if you remember last year at AEW Dynasty, Swerve Strickland became the new AEW World Champion for the first time. I could see Swerve Strickland rewriting history and becoming a 2-time AEW World Champion. And I think that should be the case. I think Swerve Strickland beats Jon Moxley at AEW Dynasty and we have a new champion. Because if Jon Moxley beats Swerve Strickland, who in the hell is going to beat Jon Moxley at this point? At this point, who would make sense to beat Jon Moxley? I can't really find anyone else except a guy like maybe Darby Allin. You know, I've constantly said Darby Allin. Possibly a guy like Will Ospreay. You could do Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley at All In. But do you want to have Jon Moxley carry the title all the way to like when? Fucking July? Do you want to have Jon Moxley carry that belt all the way until July for another 3 months? Do you really want that to be the case? Me personally, I wouldn't mind just having Swerve Strickland take the title off Jon Moxley, because I think that the Death Rider storyline is done and over with, and I think they just need to break up and they all need to go their own separate ways, please. But yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that this is all the matches that's going to take place at AEW Dynasty. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches so far that I see on the card. There may be some additions, but me personally, I think that 5 matches is pretty much the perfect amount for this AEW card. But you know, AEW, they're going to have at least fucking 10 matches on a pay-per-view. Hopefully, Tony Khan smartened up and lower the matches on a pay-per-view, because AEW has a problem with timing. And their pay-per-views run so fucking long. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you all enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And let me know y'all's thoughts on AEW Dynasty, y'all predictions, who y'all think is going to win, who y'all think is going to lose, who might show up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, y'all stay safe, stay cool, and I'm going to see y'all later, man. Peace.